shadow of the massive monument before gathering with their flags and their swastikas at its foot. 25 years to the day South Africa left the Commonwealth, and the righter than right were showing their strength. Some may be lunatics, but this is no longer a fringe. 10,000 people had come in what amounted to a massed protest against the government's reform program. It was not supposed to be a political occasion, but right-wing whites ignore these rulings as much as left-wing blacks in the townships.
That the white nation will have its own land and its own state.
The crowds were waiting for one man, Eugène Terreblanche, the leader of the neo-Nazi Afrikaner Vierstandsbeweging, an organization said to be recruiting members at a rate of 2,000 a week. His is the voice of the right. Overtones of Nuremberg, the call for the folk to fight for the fatherland, to reform the white Boer republics. His following grows and grows. Politics in South Africa, more than most countries, is a matter of momentum. The bandwagon of the right is rolling now and taking with it much of the middle ground of moderation on which many hopes of peace in South Africa depend. Right-wing whites say they'll crush the black violence that continued in several townships today. Running battles between the police and mobs of black youth this afternoon in Soweto, the largest black township here. The trouble started at a funeral. But then it spread through the streets and there seemed nothing the police could do to stop it. No middle ground here. This is Michael Burke for BBC News in South Africa.
Catalina had made a perfect approach as she skimmed over the waters of Plymouth Sound. But within seconds of her hull hitting the water, things started to go wrong. She slewed to one side, hitting an inflatable buoy, and then, and this did the damage, she hit a permanent buoy which ripped off the left side wingtip, including a float. She ended up doing what pilots call a surface loop, coming right out of the water. The armada of boats from the welcoming committee became rescue launches. One of the four-man crew had been thrown violently against a bulkhead and had gashed his leg. He was taken to hospital. Other boats recovered the wingtip. But the Americans were determined to mark their arrival, and while frantic efforts were being made to stop the PBY sinking, they hung out flags from the cockpit. It then became a race against time to get the plane beached before she filled with water. They towed her slowly to the shallows, where the Catalina ended up half submerged. Its millionaire owner and pilot apologized for spoiling the parade and managed a joke.
You know, I heard that traveling in Europe was going to be, or could be dangerous this year, but I didn't know it happened immediately upon entry.
Mr. Franks, can you tell me what happened?
Everything appeared normal, and I heard the power applied and looked out and saw...
Everything going crazy?
Well, I saw a couple buoys, and I was hoping we'd make it through it, but we did a water loop, same as a ground loop, but it was on the water. It was such a perfect trip, and then to be right here and have this happen is a big disappointment, I think, for everyone.